Welcome viewers, 18-footer Supercup, Sydney Harbour, Friday 3 February 2023. Welcome to the Camera Cat. I'm Andrew Buckland, and today we bring you a mix of skippers. Helping me in commentary today, Andrew Dolly Davola, boat builder, coach in 16-footers, and good background in 18s, including quite a long stint in the Grand Prix era.
G'day.
Welcome, Dol.
G'day, Bucko. G'day, Jimmy. Viewers.
And as usual, Jimmy Bury steering the ship, and a three-race format, and nice shiny Sydney Harbour. And if we can have a look around, we can see that the cruise ship season has returned, and the just start sequence awaiting the departure of the Pacific Adventure. So, Jimmy, did they leave on time?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, they all left on time. It's I think they just waited for the actuals that are out here for the goblet to get across and kicked it back into gear, and off they go on their little adventure.
Cool. It'd be nice drinking cocktails on the top deck, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
oh well.
There it is, filling our screen now.
Immensely.
Just a small obstacle.
Yeah. It's actually one of the smaller ships, in fact, that comes in here.
Yeah.
Amazing, isn't it? I find it hard to believe that they're any good in 60 knots with the cross sea, but that's just me. What do you think, Dol?
Yeah, no, I don't think cruising at the moment would be my thing.
So, Dol, the starters and riders list is pretty astonishing and formidable in certain respects, isn't it? And we start at the top of the page, Andu, with Joel Beechel, Adam Beechel and Matt Stenner.
Pretty handy team there.
Not a lot of 18-footer experience, but some high-grade, with apologies to Matt, of course, the two Beechel boys, fantastic.
Well, the Beechel name goes without saying that the boys can sail. I've been following Joel pretty closely through his sailing career, and he's taken out national titles in the Flying 11s and the 29ers.
At will, it would appear.
He's a very handy young sailor and a lovely young fella as well, as you'd expect, being Adam and Laney's son. And Adam on the sheet, he's still fit as a fiddle from what I can see.
No, look pretty sharp, exactly. Balmain, today's sponsors, and the legendary Hugh Studdard on the wood. Tell us about Hugh.
Well, Hugh won the 05-06 Nationals. I think he came second in a JJ. Might have been the same year.
I think that's correct, indeed.
Recently did very well in our 16 Nationals out of Manly in his first year in a 16, with his old ASCO crew of Noel Kinch and Paul Schultz.
So they might have won the seniors division as well, did they?
They did, in fact. They got the walking stick. Yeah.
The walking stick?
Yeah, the trophy is a walking stick. Yeah.
All right. Did you donate that one, Dol?
No.
No. So Andrew Cuddy on the back of the Burrowang Hotel with the usual crew of Lachlan Steele and Brandon Boeing. Cuddy, famous for accomplishments, but I'm not sure what his best result was in an 18, but he had plenty of 18-footer sailing across this club and the Grand Prix era as well.
Indeed, and champion in the Moth class, champion in the 12-footer class. I think he won a couple of Inter-Dominions in the 12s.
That's correct. A highly skilled operator.
And once again in the park, looking pretty fit. I know he gets out on his push bike and puts a lycra on.
I think he's put the falling moth away though, mate. I think so,
yeah.
On the Finport, a famous name, Tommy Burton with Gus Williams and Phil Marshall. Tom Burton, well known, I think, around the world.
Yeah, well, TB, a gold medalist in the laser class. 16 national champion as a crew with Warwick Brooklyn.
Wow. It's hot, isn't it?
And currently campaigning a 49er for the next Olympics, trying to get the spot for the Olympics.
Right.
Current Moth champion.
Australian Moth champion, indeed.
So pretty low standard all round, really.
Yeah, and interestingly, going through the park, Bucko, one of only two boats that has the big rig in.
Well, so you have to put a tick against them for that decision.
It's looking very big rig to me out here, and if I was to put $1 on someone, they would be my boys, I would think.
If one was a gambling man, but one isn't, so let's go on. On the back of Fisher and Pike, or Gary Phillips, with the usual crew of Jacob Broom and Josh Feldman.
Little while between drinks for Gary, I think.
Yep.
But
famous family from the lake.
Indeed. Done a lot of 16 and 18 sailing. Gary famous for building the first skinny 16-footer.
Oh, the one that upset everybody. And
That's right. the slice, was it, Jimmy?
Sorry, mate.
The slice, I think it was called. Yep.
yeah, which quickly separated the fleet into two halves.
Indeed.
The idea.
Yeah. Next up.
Marine Outlet with Michael Carter, aka Flipper, on the wood. Flipper, sailmaker, long time associate in the class, still active designing bits and pieces, in particular with Nick Daly, and a great long time competitor in a bunch of things.
Indeed. Sailed 18s for a long time. Mixed results, but certainly his sails won a lot of championships. Very good sailmaker.
And I can't read my own writing. Who have we got on the back of the Lazarus after all the changes?
Lazarus
so
is
we've got
James Doran with
steering.
Harry Bethwaite up the bow and Keegan York on the sheet.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Good little team,
Yeah, right.
actually.
Yeah, not bad.
Now, if they put the big rig in, I reckon...
Well, I'm surprised Doz didn't go big rig. Like he was always good for it.
I think a few of them had a look around the park and they're just going with the consensus.
Going with the consensus, indeed. Noakes Blue, Nick Press, Noddy Hay and Jack Taylor. So Nick and Noddy have been 12-footer intermittent champions for several years. They got beaten this year in a very windy series. And Noddy's a good mate. He does come with us and help us out on the mighty Yendies on occasion.
Indeed, yep. Good combination. They obviously know probably can sail without talking too much. They know what each other are doing.
Exactly.
Very handy sailors.
On the back of the Rag and Famish with Harry Price and Josh McKnight. Unbelievable rack up there. John Harris, JJ winner in
01 on the Rag and Famish. So a bit of a homecoming.
This is a bit of history again.
Bit of history repeating.
Deja vu. It's only 20 years ago for young Hanger.
Once again, good team with Harry moving from the back. We're not sure if Harry's in the bow. I'm suspecting he's on the sheet and they've pushed Josh forward.
Josh, pretty all-purpose yachtsman, all good. On the Royal Oak 4 Pints, the normal lineup, so a bit unusual. Alex Marinelli, Matt Doyle and Darcy McCracken, so just their normal club lineup.
Yeah, yep. Michael Coxon was originally going to jump on there.
And got COVID.
Got the dreaded bug.
That's right.
Probably the biggest name here today in a certain sense, on the back of Shaw and Partners, Mal Page, twice Olympic gold medalist in the 470. How's he going to go on the wood?
He goes pretty good on the wood, Mal. He doesn't matter where he is on a boat. He knows what he's doing. 2 gold medals and more world championships than you'd care to count.
We've run out of fingers and toes, have we?
Indeed. The last 2 16-foot skiff nationals, he has won.
Yep.
Sailing with Nathan Wilmot and with Fang and Josh.
It'll be terrible, won't it?
They will be pretty one to watch, that's for sure.
So the front half of John Winning's normal lineup, Fang Warren and Josh Perebski, and we don't need to say too much about those blokes.
Yeah.
On the Smeg, on the wood, Wazza Brooklyn, amazing, with Ricky Bridge and Tom Anderson.
Yeah, good team again. Probably a while since Wazza's been on an 18-footer.
There might be some rust.
There could be a little bit of rust, but Waz won the 16-foot nationals 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Yep.
Sailing with Tom Burton.
And that was a mighty effort, I thought.
It was a popular win, we'll say.
Yeah.
Popular win.
He's not the youngest bloke in the park.
He certainly wasn't, but Waz is in great shape for his age.
Yeah.
He's had a hard life.
Well, I wouldn't know anything about that, mate.
Yeah. Great fella.
On the kitchen maker, last but not least, Michael Spees with Jerome Watts and Finn Rodowitz.
So Speesy, 93-95 JJ winner, I believe on the Winfield Racing.
Yep.
And I would suggest that Spees would be the oldest skipper that we've got here today.
In contention for the walking stick goal.
Indeed.
And he hasn't been in too good a health either.
Yeah, Spees has had a few issues. I was having a chat to him in the park, but he's been doing plenty of sailing of late. And
won the Melbourne to Hobart race on Maritimo.
That's right, after they were refused entry for the Hobart, unfortunately. But yeah, plenty of yachting in Spees.
Nice complex story. Oh,
And
good.
Spees, I'll just throw in, Spees is the only other boat besides the Finport who has big rig in. So with these conditions, we could see Spees up the front, I reckon, if you can keep it upright.
Well, historically, these mixed up new guys on the wood have a bit of trouble with the slow bicycle race on the start line. Jimmy, let's just have a quick squiz at the course. She's on the short side.
It is on the short side, and I think we got 6 over 2, and we're just sort of right out the front of Double Bay, and the top mark is right on the northern end of Point Piper. But I think once I do 6 laps, these guys will be they'll be wishing it was only 4. So
Trying to fit in 3 races. Our old mate Killer would have said they put the bloody windward mark at the Dardanelles. Well, how about it?
well, that's where we are racing, 100% in the Dardanelles here.
And it's tricky, and it's, up and down. And I just in a sort of weather synopsis, I suppose, been quite strong, westerly, hot inland today, and still blowing westerly, 60, 80 miles north here at Newcastle. But a sea breeze here in the Sydney Basin, so quite pleasant. Expecting it to fade and rotate as the evening approaches. It's, just towards 5 o'clock local time in Sydney. But,
Yeah, I agree, Bucko. The tide has turned,
yeah,
and and it's on the way in.
yeah.
And we're pretty tucked up under the shore here. It's very patchy, very gusty,
Yeah.
and I expect quite shifty. But it looks like 2 tacks to the top mark to me. Make it easy for the old blokes.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of merit in that, and it gets the races done pretty quickly as well. And only one jibe, what do you think?
Yeah, if any. If they get a bit of a puff, they might get there in 1.
Yeah, they haven't given us an official leg length, Jimmy. What do you reckon? Best guess, 0.8.
0.8 at best.
Yeah, because it's it's depending on where the marks are, it's 0.8 from the totem pole to Clark Island,
Yeah.
depending
So
on
we've
exactly
just-
which mark.
We've just had the AP go up on the start boat, so that's a postponement. Still a few boats to come out, we think. And it'll be interesting to see what this breeze ends up doing. So there are few boats still to come. They're just getting a few marks laid.
The Star Committee's a bit short-staffed today as well, so...
Right.
Yeah, it's not quite the normal lineup, but the boys are just trying to put the gate marks in down the bottom here. They've got the line in.
Line's in, and it's very boat favoured, Bucko.
Well, what could go wrong here, mate? Give us some clues.
Someone fixing boats before Sunday?
So are you up for it, mate? Or?
No,
No, not anymore.
not anymore. I'm retired.
But it would have been your job 10 years ago,
Yes,
wouldn't it?
indeed.
So,
I had Dolly on speed dial.
But yes, it could get a bit crowded up this boat end, I'm suggesting.
well, you'll be able to wince at the sound of the snapping carbon bits and enjoy the fact that somebody else's problem. Look, we hope there's none of that go on, but the committee might have been able to put along a line, but we had to take care of arrangements in relation to the cruise ship.
As was. On screen.
On screen in the SMEG there. And they've gone little rig, as you can see.
Yep.
But Warwick will slot in there pretty well. He won't have too many problems, I don't think. But for me, Bucko, it looks like one tack to Shark Island, tack there, little short one across, and tack at the top mark, and away you go.
So you're backing Finport.
I'm backing Finport. Yes,
Put the
I am,
house on
mate.
it.
I'll put the house on it,
Put
indeed.
the house on it.
Because that's how much breeze do you think there's now, Bucko? Maybe 7 knots, 8 knots?
Well, I'd put it a different way. Most of the range will be covered by 8 to 12.
Yeah. Which is big rig, right?
Yeah. And a couple of little spots where it'll be more, but
The little spots are getting smaller and smaller,
yeah,
Bucko.
no,
So.
no, exactly. Hot water, temperatures even more elevated than usual. 24 inside the harbour and 27 out on the shelf in the East Australian Current.
It is.
Amazing.
It was out there the other day.
Well, yeah, what were you catching, anyway?
Marlin, mate.
Did you catch anything this time?
We didn't this time. We did the time before. Yeah, but yeah, hottest marlin run for that a lot of people can remember. Very warm water out there, which with low land temperatures, warm sea temperatures, we're just not seeing those good sea breezes, are we?
That would be no. It's too warm already for that.
No differential.
It's a March temperature, isn't it, really?
Yeah. But we don't have an nor'easter. We've got sort of a southeast breeze blowing
it's
today.
a southeast sea breeze, just a residual opposition to the nor'westerly upper flow. So it's one of those little phenomena that happens here. Pretty nice, actually, considering that out in the western suburbs, probably it was up near 40 degrees C there for a while.
Yeah, and here in Sydney we had virtually no breeze until 2:30 this afternoon, and then this breeze filled in, which we're very lucky.
Yeah, we only had a real light westerly this morning out here.
Yeah.
So, folks, we're still just waiting.
There's a couple of stragglers.
Fisher and Parkell and Marine
like
Outlet.
one in at the beach still.
Dougie Cameron's just saying 3 missing, so there's another one completely missing.
Right.
Tell us whom and why. You were never late, were you, Dol?
I tried not to be. It's never a good look for the sponsor.
No.
But Marine Outlet, that's Flipper, isn't it?
Yeah.
Correct.
So that's the one that's in next to the club, is it, Jimmy?
Yeah, that's the one in next to the club, but I can't see another
boat.
skiff unless they've laid it over.
Somebody with a rigging a problem. And, 5 o'clock Friday afternoon in Sydney, it's a busy place.
I'm just hoping the start committee's counting correctly.
Counting what particular thing, mate? Time.
The amount of boats that have entered.
Yeah, well, we're missing one boat on the list, aren't we? So maybe they're counting that boat.
Well, yeah. There's 2 boats called. Yeah, that one. That one. So, folks, the race sponsor today, Balmain, one of the up-and-coming independent, medium-sized finance companies in Sydney that operates in mortgage and equipment leasing. Pretty good operation.
Yeah, good to see them come on board as a sponsor, but not just come on board as a sponsor, but sponsoring some young blokes, right, Bucko?
Absolutely, and a spectacular-looking ship. And the picture that we opened with today, I know before the live stream was up, was a beautiful shot from last week, a couple of weeks ago, of the boat absolutely going to the races, bow level-ish, speed up in the 20s, lovely as, and it looks fantastic. Orange livery, very distinctive. Action at the station.
AP coming down.
AP's coming down, so we're going to go into sequence shortly, we would suggest, and someone's going to miss the start, I think.
Well, that's why we have 3 races, isn't it?
They can catch up later.
There's Balmain on screen.
There
They've chartered a big all occasions cruises for the team from Balmain to come out today and watch. And they're actually a very engaging and active sponsor, Dole. They don't just, there's your money and see you later. They're actually down here most weeks, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I know Brett Morris who's been sort of helping manage the young team, and the 3 young guys I've had a bit to do with over the years as they've been coming up through the other classes. They're good young guys, and it's been really impressive to see them jump in an 18, and they essentially came in almost from a 29er into an 18-footer.
So their previous pathway, Dole,
they were flying 11 kids.
Flying 11 kids, yep.
Into the 29ers, did a little bit of some of them did a bit of 16. Flynn was in the 16s for a bit.
Yeah.
And
still dabbles in them as well.
Yeah, still doing both. But big leap for them, and they came onto the scene and they surprised a few people, I think.
Yeah. I mean, tactically, they've had some pretty good races.
They have.
They need execution practice, but on occasion they've picked the first beat smack on and, embarrassed some much more experienced competitors.
And early on,
Yeah.
you know, not so much this year. They came into the fleet first up and had some really impressive races.
No, they hit the ground running last year, which is great.
With Hugh on the wood today, Hugh's no slouch. I think they might go all right. And hopefully put on a good day for the Balmain people who are out here watching. Yeah.
No pressure at all.
Commentator's curse, sorry boys.
You know how it works on here, Dole. We can sink them quicker than anyone.
It would appear so.
You've watched enough of this, Dole.
I have.
We're good at sinking them.
I was
Gee
very,
whiz.
very cautious what I said when we covered the 16-footers a few weeks back.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So in sequence now, flags are up.
For Minuten.
And as I said before, that pin is very deep
Yeah. And the line's pretty short.
and the line's short. Yeah.
So, Dole, just had a guess. How much does Joel weigh, you reckon?
I reckon Joel would be 50-something kilos,
55.
ringing wet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. They did mention what their all-up weight was. I can't remember what they said now, but it was very light.
Yeah, so they've got the 2 in.
Yeah, they've got the 2 in, and yeah, in the 2 rigs, which is the majority of the fleet, they might go all right. Yeah, Joel will be really impressive. I don't think he's done a whole lot of steering from the wire,
Yeah.
but I've seen him jump on boats. He was given a foiling boat to try out, and they left it with him for a couple of months and said, try this out. And the first day he got on it, he was just blazing around Lake Macquarie like he'd been foiling his whole life, you know.
I think he won the Inspires at Sail GP in the
Did he?
in
Yeah.
the Wasp. So
Yeah.
I think.
No, very impressive young man. One to watch for the future, I'm sure. Hope we see him in an 18-footer down the track.
Yeah, no, it'd be great.
I think he's got Olympic aspirations, but he's only a very young man.
Well, as you know, Dole, the Windward Mark, named after his great-grandfather, Alf, who was a club secretary here for a long time and a fantastic contributor in a lot of ways to this.
Indeed,
class.
everyone hears that mention of the Beechel boy in the nor'easter.
Yep.
Four generations.
Just 2 minutes now, folks.
Fisher and Peichel in the tide.
Oh dear.
Oh, there's a prize for that, Gary. There is a prize. Okay, so everybody pretty conservative, Jimmy. They're just well back. Nobody wants to get recalled.
And some surprisingly sitting a little deep, that obviously not wanting to get tangled up at this boat end. They're just going to try and get off the line.
Borrowed equipment.
Yes, you do need to be a little bit cautious.
Circumspect indeed.
Boats need to go sailing on Sunday, so Fisher Paykel are upright again, just in the nick of time. They'll be able to cross across the back of those boats and throw a tack in. They should be able to line up with no problem.
So Andrew coming in from the port end, 1 minute.
So you didn't tell us, Bucko, who are you on?
I'm with the Dole. I think the Finport's probably going to... I think it's Big Greg by such a margin that it's just going to be... As long as they don't tip over.
Big rig, good crew, very good skipper.
Yeah,
Hard to beat.
new boat that goes fast.
But we've put the curse on him. So.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Lining up nicely. A few holding back. A few of them holding back quite a bit here, though. Shaw and Partners gone into an involuntary tack there.
Well, that's not good at this point of the day. Mal, what are you thinking? Not a 470, brother.
Yeah, and he's going to be late too.
He's going to be late unless he really gets a rattle on.
John Harris in the rag is looking in a very good spot. He's just pulled the trigger.
And do pretty cool out of the leeward end of the Beechels.
Yep.
Ragged Famish nice as well. The Finport, great start at the top end.
Clear start.
Yeah,
that was apparently.
No worries, he said.
Yeah, some of those were probably 3 boat lengths over, but that's okay. We're all here to have a bit of fun.
Our timing might be a little out, Dol.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, folks, it's not the America's Cup. This is just two.
So Finport on the windward end here with the big
culture.
rig and in a very good position. Shaw and Partners have tacked out early. Mal's going to have a sniffer over on that right-hand side. Could get a bit patchy though.
So then here's the next question. How much do you think Mal weighs?
He's put on some weight since he's on for 70 days. He's for 70 days he was a string bean.
He had to be 76, didn't he then, or something?
Even less, I think.
Wow.
But yeah, he'd be in the low 80s now, I'd suspect.
That's what he looks like.
Yeah.
He's a good athlete though, isn't he? Great to see him here.
And a great ambassador for the sport.
Absolutely.
So what we've got is Finport has had the squeeze put on them by Smeg there. You're just seeing him tack out now. So he couldn't live there. Pretty ordinary tack as well.
Yeah, the Finport rig might be set up a little bit flat for the the breeze is only now 10 knots perhaps. Just 3 strings for these guys.
So nicely on the windward side of the bunch here, we've got Balmain. So they're living up to expectations for the sponsors, but stepped out in front of them all is Johnny Harris in the Rag and Famish. I suspect he'll be able to tack at the island and cross these guys.
Just looking at the Balmain though on screen here, Dol, he looks high and good. Jib absolutely bolted in.
Well, they did have the squeeze on Finport, so they've definitely got height.
Yep.
Just about to see Andu there now. They've just tacked.
No.
They're on screen there now. They've got onto port tack. They're going to start to try and get across. Most of the boats are starting to tack, but Andu isn't going to cross Lazarus, Noakes or Balmain.
And he's having a troublesome duck as well. Anyway, Rag and Famish on screen just tacking up in a big left-hander. And a little bit of main sheet droppage going on there, but Johnny Harris, Harry Price and Josh McKnight, pretty handy lineup also.
Yeah, and as suspected, I think they're going to cross. Maybe not Balmain though.
Yeah, no, they're comfortable there, Dol.
Yep.
Travelling with Andu on screen. So,
the Rag leads with John Harris on the helm.
Wow, good effort.
Been a while between drinks for John. Been doing a bit of moth sailing in the meantime.
Yeah.
Been in America for a while. Last couple of boats just squeezing in at the island. Here we got Lazarus and Balmain. Balmain's taking my race plan of all the way to the island and attack Bucko.
The less tax theory, looking all right.
It looks like less tax is a good idea too, a bit shabby.
Big left here, pretty shabby.
Yep.
But here they go, they're off again.
Very puffy though.
Oh yeah. And they're up on the Portac ley line, I would say.
They're on a ley line, maybe even overlaid, I would think. On screen now, we've got Andu back onto starboard, and Smeg has crossed in front of Lazarus. Shaw and Partners, sorry, not Smeg. Red boats. And we've got coming into shot. There's Birkenhead Point just above Smeg there.
With Jack McCartney steering. And the normal crew on board there, so a bit of wisdom for those young blokes.
Yep.
Yeah, I think if there's one bloke from the fleet past that you would like to go for a start with, Jack would be pretty high on the list, wouldn't he, Dom?
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's had a good couple of years. He's not sailing this year, but Hobart winner this year.
Yeah.
On the big boats. And on screen there now we've got Balmain, and they're looking very nice to come into this top mark. They'll be attacking very shortly, and they're only within a couple of boat lengths of that mark. So enough room to put in attack and then execute the Barraway Bucko.
Well, it's going to be a job set, isn't it?
Yeah.
Struggling to get the bow down, but they've got the job done. A little puff just at the mark. They're going to
go for a straight set, I think.
Straight set.
Straight set. And we've got Lazarus around.
Well, they won't need to go far on starboard job. Lazarus a good second.
Sure and Partners.
Sure and Partners.
And then your pick, Finport.
Finport and then Finport. So plenty of room to make gains yet for Finport.
He needs to get on the other jibe sooner.
He does indeed, because he's going to get carted a lot more than the little rig guys.
Goes Snag. Finport just running off downwind there, and Balmain nicely across them on port. Andu back to about 6th.
Finport has jive.
Finport has
capsized.
capsized.
And they're in the drink. It did look like a shaky jibe, and it was.
Oh, and the Birkenhead also.
And Birkenhead sunk as well.
There we have the commentator's curse bucker. We've done it again.
100% success rate. Take 10 out of the till, Dole. So the Balmain slate going to lead pretty handily down the bottom here.
Looking very good.
Balmain.
There they are. There they are on screen now, and they're about, that is their corporate boat that they're just going past. I'm sure they're getting a huge cheer from the crowd. They've got a nice 50 to 100 metre lead over Lazarus and Shore and Partners.
And they're nicely underlaid, so no worries about the angle in.
Yeah.
They just got to judge the timing of the drop to sail up to the mark after they finish shopping. But they've come down there with the benefit of it on the face of a good path. Most of the run.
Yeah, and it's quite puffy, so it kind of depends on the gusts that they get as they come down here. Nice overhead shot there now, and you can see the boats behind, they're just starting to lift on a little bit softer breeze. Balmain at the top of your screen there, they've just had to drop a little early and they'll reach into this mark.
But that's a pretty good result.
It is, but they will give away a little bit of time, I think, especially the Shore and Partners. They'll give away a little bit of time there.
Yeah, but you can't always have it 100% right. They were on the face of a good path.
Yeah, it's very gusty.
It's pretty gusty.
You get the puff and you get carded, you don't get it.
So you just...
So there they are, they're taking the left turn at the gate.
Which is the upwind side of the track, and they're tacking straight away, so...
Yeah, it was fairly gusty on that right-hand side, so that's probably not a bad
Shore
move.
and Partners taking the other.
Yep, you can see them on screen there now, and Lazarus taking the left-hand turn. Next in after Lazarus, we'll have Smeg.
Lazarus needs to get on starboard ferry crossing their bow. Get a go. Anyway, tricky now for these guys a bit further back.
So here we've got Warwick Brooklyn on the Smeg, and he's making it look quite easy for a young bloke. Great job, was. Because I'd imagine it's been a while since he's been on a wire too.
Yeah, and his stance does betray that statement a bit, Tol. A little bit stiff-legged and not quite languid enough.
Yep.
But anyway.
Got through that tack not so badly.
Yeah.
Andu next round.
I've just watched young Joel on Andu Dole, like, not a problem in the world, straight through on wire.
Danced through, hooked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kid is a natural.
Yeah. Bragg and Famish on the left-hand gate, along with Noakes Blue.
Burrawang Hotel went
Burrawang
around the other
went
mark.
around the right, yep. Then we've got the Kitchen Maker turning just inside Fisher Bay Kell. And the capsized boats, we've got no sign of.
I can see looking up the track, the Birkenhead's there and back upright and rolling.
Yeah.
And Finport's coming down without a spinny coop, sort of where the leaders are.
I see them there, Jimmy, yep, thank you.
I think it might be the case, Joel, that if you've been in the tide, you're allowed to wait out the race, aren't you?
Yeah. We just saw off picture there, we just saw Speezy do the backwards facing tack, just checking there's no weed on the rudder maybe.
Getting feedback from John Winning Senior.
He was on his hands and knees.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on screen there now, we've got the kitchen maker. Looking quite good up the track. There's the rag on screen now. They're currently in probably 5th or 6th position. John Harris on the helm. But Balmain still holding quite a good lead. Just pan up the course a bit and panning up to the leaders there now. Burrawang, and then looking up towards Andu, Smeg. Then ahead of them we've got Lazarus, Shaw and Partners and Balmain. I can't see Balmain losing this one without all going well. Hopefully I haven't just looked.
There's a kiss of death.
You've just made sure that they'll be standing on the fin in the next couple of minutes, Dole. Great picture there against the corner of Shark. The afternoon sun, just a photographer's dream.
Lovely pictures. So there's Hugh Stoddart on the Balmain. Probably a bit underlaid to the top mark, but a nice comfy leg across.
Oh.
Give themselves some space.
Comfy. So how far do we need to go on starboard jibe here, mate?
Well, we've got to get to the finish this time, don't we? So it's the finish is a little bit higher than that gate.
Almost a jibe set in what they've got there.
Very puffy on this side though, Bucko.
Yep. Good funnel around the corner here at Point Piper, but
yeah, I think a normal set, maybe 50 to 100 metres and a jibe.
they just set and jibe, really, is what you're saying.
Pretty much, yeah. And when you're in that position in the lead, you want to protect it, right? Or bit of a shonky tack there from the boys, but they've managed to
they've got a heading
get
puff
through
as they start.
Yeah.
And it's a good puff too. And if they're not careful here, the Lazarus will catch them.
Yeah, Lazarus coming in. They'll come into screen in a sec. They're still coming in on port tack. You'll see them in a moment.
Good bit of pressure coming around the corner here. Probably the strongest puff we've seen.
They'll be saying you can't tack in there, boys.
Words of that
Go
effect.
behind.
Yes, thank you, gentlemen.
So come on, Huey. Nice bear away here in a set.
Pretty good.
So coming off the back of a great result in the 16-footers, Jimmy, he's probably up on confidence, right?
You'd have to be.
Yeah.
You know, like it's the other one that you got to sort of commend is a bloke up the bow on Lazarus.
Yeah.
Like the year he's been having.
Oh, Keegs is in the bow, is he?
No. Keegs is on the sheet.
Oh, okay.
Did he get you to quote on his moth?
Yeah, his moth's looking very second-hand. But at least this time he did it on the water. He remembered to tie it onto the trailer.
It's expensive. Couple of little mishaps.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, expensive boats not to be messed with.
Yeah, indeed.
So, like, you're right, Bucko. Balmain and Lazarus went a bit further before jibing. Shaw and Partners took the early jibe, and as I said, they're soft, right? But one puff, and they'll be back down. But at the moment, they're bow up.
Yeah. And a bit hard to tell because we're a fair way away, but they're laying. So just bearing away now at the top of the Burrowing. We haven't been talking about them too much.
Yeah. Sailing well.
Andrew Cuddy keeping her upright. And I did have a quick look at the Andu on the beat there. They were struggling a bit with the puff lull sequence, but Joel looks like he's been at it all his life, doesn't he?
Yeah, straight out, on wire, as the boys were setting the spinnaker, doing it, making it look very easy.
Yeah.
And he'll be eyeing off the Smeg. Here we've got Andrew Stray Cuddy throwing in a jibe earlier than those other two boats, so he's trying to sneak one on them.
And going into a good header too, if they can get their ship on.
There they are on screen now. Andrew Cuddy looking very comfortable there.
Yeah, the Ural pathways haven't disappeared, have they? The old wiring's still there.
Yeah, yeah.
Good stuff. And travelling with Andrew via drone here. They've been looking pretty composed by and large.
Shaw and Partners had to get that other jibe in. They were getting a bit high. That's them on screen now, so they're now jibing back, hopefully on a late at the finish. Up ahead of them, we've got Lazarus in second. And we'll try and get on screen for you in 1 sec. We'll see Balmain crossing the line to take the win. Well done, Hugh Stoddart.
He had a bit of a blinder the last time we did this too. One race Dolly led, and you won a race too, didn't you?
Yeah, I won it. I was in front going into the last race and was ruled OCS in the last race, unfortunately. Sailing the Finport with Gus and Katut.
So you hadn't filled in the form correctly or sent the money to the... I won't say
I
that.
heard a rumour that there wasn't going to be any recalls.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It took full advantage.
Yeah. Shaw and Partners on screen coming in for third position with Pagey, Mal Page. So as we said, not only a great crew, but he can steer a boat as well. They don't hand out gold medals to mugs, apparently.
Really?
No.
Particularly in that most technical classes, the 470.
Indeed.
Did you ever saw one?
470, very briefly when I was very young.
Yeah. Technical doesn't even begin to describe it, I suppose.
Yeah, and they got more technical after that. I was only a 16-year-old then. 1980 Olympics, I wouldn't have gone anyway, mate. Andrew Joel Bieshel crossing the line in 4th position. Creditable, eh? Young fella.
Still in short pants, as we used to say.
Indeed. Burrawong Hotel, Andrew Cuddy.
Sneaking a in down a committee boat edge.
Indeed. Well done, boys.
Noakes Blue next, and Smeg will be the next after that.
So that was Nick Press and Noddy. And then on the Smeg we have Warwick on the Smeg. Great performance from him.
Next is Speezy.
Next through
Michael
Speezy
Spees.
on the kitchen maker with the big rig. Well done. Sitting in the boat, Woody style.
Fisher and Pike after being in the tide. Not a bad effort.
Bit of a comeback, yep.
And there they go. 9th for Fisher and Pike.
Fisher and Paykel through there now.
Finport with the big rig. So, God, we need a good look at this big rig mainsail. Looks a little undercooked on the diagonals to me.
Yeah, still they've got the area bucko. I think if they had have not put it in the tide with the kite up,
Your house would have been safe.
oh, they had some catching up to do, but they were certainly in contention, weren't they?
Yeah.
Surprising, actually, that they went in the tide.
Yeah.
But 2 more races to go, plenty of time.
It's always possible, Noel. Last time I did an old Buffett race up at Manly with a certain Lawson Abbott.
Yes.
We didn't go in the tide during the race. We thought that was a significant achievement in a southeasterly
Uh-huh.
for us old blokes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, what year was that, Bucko? 1970?
No, it wasn't that long ago.
Wasn't that long ago.
We're happy to be mid-fleet as long as we kept the mast above the water
Uh-huh.
on that southeasterly course, mate.
Which boat?
Oh, some
Can't
horror.
remember.
Some horror, doesn't matter.
Can't remember.
Something with the luff curve in the mainsail that wasn't very good, I can tell you.
So still to come, we have Birkenhead, Marine Outlet. Marine Outlet didn't start?
No,
right,
they
I don't
didn't
think.
start. They've just come out here for some swimming.
So they have got the big rig in. Flipper.
But Jack McCartney's bringing the Birkenhead Point downwind, and now definitely VMG run.
And
Big big rig in.
And Jack will not. No, they're second rig.
Oh, they're second rig?
Yeah. Yeah.
It looks big for me. Maybe the black spinnaker looks bigger.
And Jack won't be happy with that.
No, I can
Expect fireworks in the next one.
expect some, yeah.
But also, for our viewers at home, with Birkenhead Point Marina, don't forget, if you go there, tell them that you support the Birkenhead Point guys, and they'll give you 10 cents off a litre until the end of this sailing season.
Wow.
How good's that, Dol?
If you own a big cruiser, I'd be heading down there.
Line up.
You take the camera cat down there, do you, Jimmy?
Mate, we do.
James?
So a member of the 18-footers?
No, just a member of any sailing club, Dole,
okay.
is all you got to be a
Okay.
member of, and just tell them that you support Birkenhead Point.
18-footer.
Yeah, Birkenhead Point Marina 18-foot team, and
What a great deal.
that looks like their big shoot, doesn't it?
It does to me a bit.
No, it's not. It's not that loose on the luff.
No, it's not. It
No.
wouldn't fit, Jimmy. But it is long. It is long in the luff, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Something ain't right.
What's going on there? Can't see anything. The halyard's nearly fully made, but the luff is too much sagged. Oh well.
And you can't shorten that up unless you put a knot in it, bucko.
I've got a
Put a knot in the head.
Well, have a look at the head carefully. It's made, isn't it?
It
Yeah.
is, yeah.
No,
yeah.
it's all made.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'd be
that's-
having a word to the sailmaker, would you, bucko?
We've just had a word.
Yeah. If they're watching. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It defies belief, doesn't it? That in a class the dimensions are pretty standardised, so we've got a sail that's probably the wrong length by about, looking at that, 200 mil.
Yeah. Unless they don't have enough rake in the rig.
Yeah, possibly.
Possibly.
But,
Yeah.
somebody's been in charge of putting it in the jib fits, so
And we are about to start the JJs.
that's right. Something like that. That'll do.
We should be ready.
Cease.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cease.
Maybe have a word to them in the park, bucko.
So just 11th to 1st, 11th Rag and Famish, 10 Finport, 9 Fisher and Pykell, 8 Kitchen Maker, 7 Smeg, 6 Noakes Blue, 5
Here we go,
Darling,
5 minutes, we're in sequence already.
and we're in sequence for next race already, 4 Andu, 3 Shore and Partners, 2 Lazarus, and an all-the-way win for Balmain. Fantastic.
With their sponsors out here, that's a great effort.
So, Dol, since we did so well on the tipping contest that race, who's your money on this race?
I'd like to think I'd stick with what I went with.
Okay.
I'm hoping that TB can redeem himself, but I'll take the commentator's curse off him.
Yeah, right.
And
Put your money somewhere else.
I'll put my money somewhere else. I'll have Shore and Partners.
Yeah, reasonable bet. A reasonable bet. Mal would be a bit cranky.
So when you watch this back, Mel, you know who sunk you.
Sorry, Mal.
Sorry, Mal.
I did help Mal out with the 16s though, and they won that. So they were in a little bit of trouble pre-regatta, let's say.
Yeah.
They had
And,
more hits than Elvis.
And Dolly was brought out of retirement to put the jigsaw puzzle back together.
How'd you go? How'd you go about it? First job, find all the pieces.
You find all the pieces and throw more carbon at it. And,
Or one of those jobs.
And in that last heat, they won the national title. So
Unfortunate accident to the
Noakes
Noakes boys. Yeah.
unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. But you'd imagine that Mal Page, Fang Warren and Josh Perepsky probably good enough. Now, folks, breeze just fading away a little here. There was that one good puff up, a couple of good puffs in the previous race that were above 12. Don't think there's any above 12 now, Dol.
No, mate, 10 max in the puffs. We're still tucked up in this corner. There's a bit more breeze over on the other side of the harbour, but that's not where we're sailing. So we're down to 4 minutes.
3 minutes, Dol.
3 minutes, are we? Yep.
There's all the spectators from all the people from Balmain.
Hello to the people from Balmain. Here to watch their boys.
Hope the teriyaki chicken's okay up there on that top deck.
I think they might have had a few more drinks after that first race victory. So the Balmain and Hugh Stoddart.
So who's your money on, Bucko?
I don't have any money.
All right, well, your Monopoly money.
I don't know.
We take Visa.
Take Visa. I'd be surprised if Shore and Partners, like Dole says, I'd be surprised if they can't get a bit further up the leaderboard. And Finport should get one podium finish.
They should.
Yeah.
They should, if we stop talking
If
about
we
them.
stop talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
but a lot of it's in this start, isn't it? With such a biased line, if you can get off that line with pace.
Well, yeah,
And,
but they sort of came out even almost last time, didn't they? Despite the fact that it is, but it's not too bad.
I think they might have let out a bit of chain on the start boat, you think?
Yeah, maybe.
Because we're a little bit pinned up on what we were in the last race.
Yeah.
A little. Still boat favoured.
Yeah. Okay. 140 to go. And the line is not really long enough still, but
A couple of yachts coming up the harbour. Hopefully they won't get involved. Coming up to 1 minute. Shortly, not far off. Boats lining up already.
Andu and Balmain are toward the windward end with Royal Oak.
Rag and Famish dropping in from the windward side of the line.
Oh, there's a technique that you need to polish.
One of my favourites.
And a good bit of wind down the end of the line there, but very spotty. 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay.
Who do you like in this lineup, Bucko? Looking
Well,
down on it now.
The Rag and Famish looks like they might be getting up for another good one,
Yep. Royal Oak in a good position.
because there isn't really
Big rig.
there isn't really enough room on the line for all the boats, so you have to occupy some space.
Rag and Famish look early, but they're going to throw in a little tack. There's a bit of screaming going on.
A couple of unhappy blokes. Well judged though. They come back to the complete weather end.
Dear oh dear.
Gutsy stuff.
Not a lot of time on their side.
No, 10 seconds, but they're okay.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Well judged.
Burrowang and Smeg punching out quite early.
Clear start.
Clear start. Oh yeah, all day. All day. So
Smeg.
we'll give that one to the Smeg.
Yeah.
But once again, great start from Balmain, and he's sitting just above Finport. I'd suggest that Finport might try and do to Balmain what Balmain did to Finport, put the squeeze on them.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like they can live there. Once again, we've got Balmain showing great height, Bucko.
Well, have a look how hard the jib sheeted on the Balmain. It's pretty amazing. Whoop. It's a dark horse special, but there's a little lull, and Finport's just sneaked away there.
Yeah,
But
little
it's-
heading lull.
Breeze back into the left, so high left. Everybody's into a long header here, and the whole next path is a header.
Yeah, it is, and it's going to carry them all the way up towards the island. You'd be a brave, well, I'm not so brave man actually to tack off, because the breeze is actually filled in quite nicely in the bay here.
Yep. So, and I tell you what's made a good fest out of Leeward End, Andrew Cuddy on the Burrowang down there,
He has.
and in shot here. So him and Smeg basically having a fight down there. But Finport leads, I would say, from Balmain.
Well, Finport aren't going to cross Balmain there if they tack. And interestingly, Bucko, Finport just starting their mainsail, just starting to go inside out a little bit.
Beautiful.
So that shows that the breeze is up, right?
And Mal's got to lean over to windward. He's going fast through the water there, though, Doll, isn't he?
Yeah, a little bit bow down, boat inclined to windward. Same, all three of those lead boats, either very flat or inclined, which is the way you want to see it. And they're legging out from the fleet nicely here. Bit hard to see with the sun beaming into our shot there.
Yeah.
Great overhead shot though. But you can see Balmain, and just behind them in that shot there is Rag and Famish, John Harris. See a bit clearer now.
Yeah.
That shot's a little bit deceptive. Those boats to leeward of Balmain are a lot closer than the camera makes it look.
Yeah, the camera's got some lengthening, hasn't it?
It does.
But Balmain clearly in front of Andu, for example.
Yes,
So
clearly.
The lead group is therefore Finport, Balmain, Burrowang and Smeg.
Smeg, yeah.
The next group, Lazarus, Fisher and Pykle. Reagan Flemish.
And on screen, we've got Balmain, and you can see Hughes really sailing the boat beautifully there. So no surprise that they won that first race when he's sailing the boat so well. We're going to get a cross here in a moment between Balmain and Finport.
Finport's going to have to duck.
Coming in this picture there now, that's Finport ducking behind with the big rig.
Quite a big duck too.
A big duck, but Bucko, I would suggest that when we get over to the end of this port hand leg, we may see Finport cross Balmain.
You'd think so.
All will be told when we get to the other side.
Yeah, I think you're right. Who's this white powerboat here? My goodness.
You might want to hurry up a little.
He doesn't want to appear on Shippo's list of kumquats, mate. He's just taking it nice and easy.
Yeah, he doesn't want to make too much. Well, in fact, yes, he's not making too much wake.
No.
Which is very nice of him.
Yeah.
Out of shot, we've just got a large cruiser that you can't see, but he was kind of in the way.
So the Balmain making another good stab at this one, mate.
Yeah, and once again, they've got that height, and that's going to come into play and prove me wrong, and I think they might get across Finport when we tack on the starboard again.
So the old straight back jib from Dark Horse and Flipper just able to be bolted in, just seriously.
Yeah.
You're on the payroll at Dark Horse or something.
I'm trying to be.
Designer.
There'll be a little bell every time you mention it. Pay, what is it? The pay to goes for comments.
The FPOS machine pings each time.
I don't know anything about that. You know, that old Jones, he was a good man. I don't care what you say.
Yeah, so that's Finport, you can see now, have tacked, and Balmain will cross in front of them quite clearly. Both boats on picture there now. And I'd suggest
not a big lead, but enough.
Not a big lead, but enough to hold him out.
Yep. That's going to be 1-2, I think. Rag in third. Just coming into shot if we can wait a minute.
Now let's see how Mr. Burton handles things this time. I think he might jibe a little bit earlier and hopefully jibe a little bit cleaner.
I think the cause of the trouble last time was another boat called Andu.
Yeah.
Just possibly.
Through the bear away. Nicely done, Hugh.
Yeah, he hasn't lost his little pathways, has he?
He hasn't. And TB jibe sets, which will negate any errors, Bucko.
As long as they get the halyard off the top spreader.
And pop the mainsail would help too.
Pop the mainsail. Only a couple of suggestions from us. What would we know, Doc?
Yeah, armchair admirals, mate.
Yeah, when Monday morning quarterbacks, all that. The Finport. That's
not very scrappy on the Finport. Come on, boys.
They're usually better than that, aren't they, Jimmy?
Caught up on the jib prodder, I think. Bucko,
yeah, I think it is. I think it's just wedged in there.
Yeah.
I thought it was on the top spread. I could be wrong.
No, it looks like it's at the front on the jib prodder and where the forestay meets the jib prodder.
You've got some homework to do before Sunday too, Bucko. There was someone left a comment wanting to know how much Dyneema is on an 18-foot skiff.
A lot. A lot. I know.
They want an exact measurement.
I know who to ask.
Cameron McDonald,
I was going to say Cameron McDonald would be the go-to.
From a short list of one.
Yeah.
Exactly right. So Cam.
So we've got Balmain leading the rag, John Harris, and they have quite a healthy gap before Andu.
Finport about to jibe to try and get that
Finport
out.
are still in that mix, but they're still in trouble. They're jibed twice and the spinnaker is still caught. So you can't blame us this time. But now they're prawning it.
Now they're going to go in the tide.
They're going to go in the tide again. They have prawned the spinnaker terribly. And they are in all sorts of bother. There they are now. So, kite's still out on the pole, full of prawns, a couple of kilos. got it in the boat now. But that's a real shame. They came around that top mark in great shape. Second place, very narrow. Only for it all to go bad on them.
Shades of sorrow, isn't it? That you don't want me to win.
Well, I'm embarrassed about that one, Jimmy. Oh well. Anyway, we're travelling with Andu, who now solidly in third. Two orange boats in front of them.
So yeah, looking at young Joel Michel there with his father Adam. And as we were saying before, looks like he's been doing it forever. Phenomenal.
And the Balmain going to lead again here, Joel.
Yeah, so they're dropping now, and it looks like they're going to go for that left-hand turn again. And if they can take 2 wins, they will be very hard to beat in this event, I'd imagine.
It's great that it's turned and rag. Look at that splitting going to the other mark.
With a late drive drop, no pressure, Josh.
Pretty good, pretty good though from Hang Junior. Sorry, viewers.
John Harris
John
for the
Harris.
viewers today.
Yeah, aka Hanger.
Yeah, named after his old man, also John Hanger Harris.
Indeed. So he's got Harry Price and Josh McKnight.
Ooh.
Next in with a few more
Smeg.
prawns as well. We have the Smeg. They got the sea anchor out. Oh, they've just managed to save it. And young Joel in the Andu's been caught on the outside of them. And he had to slow her up.
He's not too unhappy about that. He's come out of it pretty clean.
Yeah.
A lot of prawns, Don. A lot of prawns.
Yes, there is. And we can't blame the old skippers for that, can we?
Well, you probably can't. Put the bow in the wrong place, sail too deep. I don't know.
Called for a late drop.
Called for a late-
You would have pinned him regardless.
Go easy on the old blokes, fellas. Come on. It's what forward hands are for, to blame, aren't they?
Yeah, it does take a special kind of person to do the job. You're right. We'll blame them then.
Yeah. The union will be onto us.
Yep.
So overhead there, you can see the blue spinnaker coming down as Noakes, while around the other mark we've had Shaw and Partners and Royal Oak, and then the Barrel Wang coming in, closely followed by the Kitchen Maker, while on the left-hand mark you can just see Lazarus coming around now. Quite a clean drop from them.
Now to control coming towards us, Marine Outlet.
Marine Outlet flipper with the big rig. Looks like they've had a bit on, but they're upright and still going.
So they're upright and in the yacht race, and it's getting lighter too, Don. So that big rig might come in handy here if they can shoot her on. Very light on the right edge now, by and large. Can't go any further, Flipper. Get on's the other tack, brother.
Tack it, tack it, tack it.
There he goes.
Here we go.
Anyway, one screen we've got the Barrel Wang and the Royal Oak fighting it out on the other edge.
They're on the left-hand side of the course. You can see out in front of them, the red sail is the Shaw and Partners. And then ahead of them, we've got Andu, and is that Birkenhead, is it, Bucko? Below
There you
Andu?
go on the screen. You got that. Flipper will be wanting the race called off. He's the head of Speezy.
Yeah. Yeah, so Kitchen Maker to leeward there, Michael Spees, and then Michael Carter on Marine Outlet. And they've both got the big rig on, Jimmy.
Yep.
But the thing in Marine Outlet is a proper real man's big rig, isn't it?
It's certainly got some washing.
Yeah. Yep.
So Joel Michel on picture there. Not a lovely overhead shot from the drone. And
Birkenhead Point below them with Jack McCartney steering.
so Jack will be a bit happier this time, being a bit further up the pointy end of the fleet.
You can see the podium.
You can see it, Bucko, but it's a fair way away, I think. Because just to the outer shot there now, we've got Barrawang. You can see that Shaw and Partners have tacked on the port. And they're both those boats, they're currently in about 7th and 8th position.
And that's Fisher and Pykell right there.
A bit short of a sale sign for some reason. It must be new.
Yeah, they're
New old
currently...
washing.
Fisher Paykel currently in 6. Gary Phillips doing a great job, Gary. Long time between drinks for him on 18, I think.
Balmain making it look easy again. And just coming off Shark Island, Smeg.
Yeah,
Up
Smeg just tacking there and
up near
very
the
close to the island. Yep.
Leaking a bit of gas onto Birkenhead Point Marina.
There's Rag and Famish John Harris in 2nd place. And as
King distance.
yes, if Hugh makes a slip up, they'll be there to grab it. So you can see the difference there. As before, it's a lot closer than what the pictures make it look. Maybe, what would it be, Bucko? 50, 60 metres?
Yeah, it's 15, 20 seconds.
Lovely tack we just saw there from John Harris. And he might be on a little bit of a squeeze to make this mark. Just a little bit of breeze there now is lifting him up. There we go.
A puff come to rescue him.
Yeah, saved his bacon.
He'll have to get the jib vaulted in, but he'll get there.
Yeah,
So that's 1-2, and 3-4 is Smeg and Birkenhead. Smeg with a good lead over Birkenhead, and not all that far beyond Rag and Famish. Just about to come in a shot from the port side here. Rag at the mark, and Smeg now. Yeah.
Yeah, look at Warwick. He's very comfortable there. Very comfortable. So you're just watching Rag do a jibe set there. So they're going to try and sneak. Hope they get a little puff down the inside and sneak an insider on Balmain, but it's very puffy on that left-hand side, right-hand side of the course, looking upwind. Or the lee shore side, windward shore side. Smeg the next one around, going for a straight set.
The opposite of the lee shore.
Yeah, closely followed by Birkenhead.
Jack McCartney, Andrew Stevenson and Daniel Barnett.
Wow. Gary Phillips just jamming one inside of Joel Beashall there at the top mark. Managed to pull it off.
They might be sunk by that bloke going through.
There's a big cruiser heading their way, throwing up a very big wash.
Pretty hot set on the end. Anyway, looking down there, the boat's coming into the windward mark with plenty of backlighting. Photographer's dream. Lazarus getting a bear away done in a pretty big bit of puff. Going for a jibe set.
Yep, Doro throws in a quick jibe and they'll set and hope to get a bit of breeze down the inside. Didn't work out brilliantly for Jack McCartney on the Rag, but it was worth rolling the dice. He wasn't going to give up 2nd place, I don't think, so it was worth having a try. Lovely pictures looking down the harbour towards the harbour bridge as the boats under Spinnaker are heading down to the finish, and it's definitely getting very patchy down here, Bucko. Very patchy. Will we see a big rig in the next race take advantage of it? Orange spinnaker you can see in front is Balmain there ahead of the Rag, and the black spinnaker Birkenhead Point Marina. They're our top 3.
So here's the key question. Who tipped the Balmain people into Q Star? Somebody in the know.
Someone in the know, perhaps. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure how the draw worked out. Whether it was pre-arranged or whether the club the club made the call on who was on what boat. Draw them out of a hat, maybe. But,
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
Well, you know, some of these people are mates with the existing skippers, so they make a little arrangement. I know I've done that in the past with Keegan.
The truth comes out. Good stuff. So the Balmain slate, another virtually all the way win, just going to get there in front of the Rag and Famish. Shouldn't run square and 18 footer though, boys.
So, yeah, very narrow, close finish there.
Close finish from the Smeg.
Yeah. Smeg comes through for a nice third. That was a nice little gain at the end there from Warwick. Great job, Warwick Rooklyn.
The other boys getting white line fever and just trying to get the bow down and going pretty slowly, so never wise to do that.
Next over, Birkenhead Point Marina, Jack McCartney. Then Andu with Joel Beechel. Well done, young man.
So Andu now with a 4 and a 5.
And then Fisher Paykel next.
Next up we've got Fisher Paykel, which I think is Gary Phillips, isn't it?
Yep,
Correct.
And
then
Doz
Doro.
on the Lazarus.
Doz on the Lazarus. Doz, lift your game, son. We know he's got more in him than that, right, Jimmy?
Mate, look at the size of him.
He's been back in the paddock.
Royal Oak. Next up. Fans cheering in the background. Then we're going to have a little port and starboard here between the Barrawang and the Noakes Blue, but we're going to play nice.
Barrawang gets 9th and Noakes Blue gets 10th.
And here's the bloke you sunk at the beginning of this race, Dole.
Sure and partners. They're just cooling off.
AKA Marine Outlet. And the kitchen maker.
Two big rigs coming in the last place there. On an age handicap, Speezy would be much further up the fleet.
Particularly if he'd written the formula.
How old would Speezy be, Bucko? 70?
No,
Close to?
65.
60? Oh, that's that all? No, he's more than that. Jeez, mate, I'm about to be 60, but Speezy's more than 5 years older than me. And you never mention your age, do you?
31 last time I looked.
Postage handling, insurance and everything else thrown in.
It must have been a long time ago.
Be about right.
So how are we looking on with the overalls, do you think, there, Bucko?
Well, you can do the maths.
Obviously, we've got Balmain with a very handy lead.
1-1. Lazarus with a 2 and a 7. Smeg with a 7 and a 3. Andu with a 4 and a 5. But that's about the order.
Uh-huh.
So I think Balmain's just got to get around to win. There's a summary.
Should we talk about that?
No, well, we're not allowed to, I don't think.
I don't want to sink Hugh. He's a good mate.
No, he's a considerable character, isn't he?
He is.
So,
Yeah.
but he's shown this fleet what to do.
Certainly has. He should be very happy regardless of what happens.
Yeah.
2 bullets.
Not far off signals here again, by the looks of it.
What would be fascinating, I think, Dole, would be if, and there's no room in the rest of the season, but
There we go.
to see Joel Beechel come back and steer a full length
Race.
club race, as it were.
Yeah.
It might be pretty good.
Yeah.
You might have to get in there as a managing agent or something for him, Bucko.
Well, it's tricky working with the Andu team, you know.
Hard to get in.
Hard to get in.
Unless you're...
It'd have to be your Jerry Maguire moment.
Look,
Show me the money.
I've got the right colour trousers.
Got the pants on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Andu blue. Anyway,
in sequence again.
What happened to your yellow ones from last Sunday, mate? Do
Jimmy,
they,
look, we've got a choice for the weekend coming up and for the Giltner, right?
Right.
There's a pair of Cows Reds.
Yes.
There's a pair of blue ones like this.
Yes.
There's the yellow ones of last weekend, and there's some newly acquired salmon pink ones.
Salmon pink.
Salmon pink, bucko. You're like Richie. You're like the Richie Benno of yachting.
Take it easy. Not really pink, shit. Sorry, I've misled you a
The
bit.
blue, the brown, the beige.
Yes, the beige. The beige. Not the beige.
You've just given Shippo so much ammunition.
Oh,
well
love
done,
it.
son.
Love it.
Oh, that's good. He needs it. He does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So the crowd stood as one, applauding Smeg and Balmain.
We've got a bit of a, you can just see, viewers, the fairly substantial Friday night twilight yacht fleet coming up the harbour.
Royal Sydney Yacht Squadron?
Is that who it is, Jimmy?
Yeah, I believe so.
It is
And
completely.
Fortunately, the majority of them seem to be thinking there's an 18-footer race. We won't get too much in the way.
The course, I can tell you, comes from the Nova Boy down to Lady Bay, I think. So it's just a sort of a fetch. And, and it's a pursuit race, and so there's a lot of boats. There's nearly 100 boats.
Do they let you in there, do they, Bucko?
Incredibly popular.
Not in those pants, they won't let him in.
Well, I don't know, Jimmy.
Salmon, he might.
I've sailed that nice 8 metre there a few times.
The mighty Defiance.
Yep, exactly, and had a good day out. But the dining room fully booked on Friday nights in summer. How about that? And I can tell you, the start line in the little bay there, quite a dangerous place in which to operate.
Yeah, watch out for the punters.
Yeah. All right, back to 18-footer
3
racing.
minutes.
No, two.
Under three. Under three.
2:25, Dole.
Yep, under 3.
2:20 perhaps now. Coming at you.
Smeg having a sniff at the line very early, probably just having a look, and they'll swing back out of there.
No, the Woz has figured out that he can be 2 lengths early and there'll be no punishment.
Yes.
So what are you suggesting? He's going for 4 this time?
I think he's
2 minutes now.
shedding on 15 seconds to go.
Or maybe with a minute to go.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, a few of them shaping up down towards the pin end. So
Well, they saw what happened at last race. The right hand here not right hand enough and more pressure off the land.
there is, yeah.
So the outside line looks actually best, just.
Yeah, they kind of had more pressure and lifted underneath, didn't they?
Well,
Yeah.
no, well, it went into a long header. And
Yeah.
so
The high guys were heading, yeah.
Yeah, the high guys were heading, exactly.
But, yeah, Smeg has tacked out of there. They're having a little sniff further up the line. We won't be too far off a minute to go. And
1:15.
Lazarus very well advanced on the line, Bucko. Bailing out now.
Doz has never been over in his life.
He's never not been over, I don't think, has he?
I know.
1 minute.
Okay.
Windward end of the line, we have Hugh Stoddart in Balmain lining up very nicely, I would say. But Bucko's telling me that the pin end's the place to be.
Except there's a little localised puff at the top of the line, right where we are in the mighty Camera Cat.
Not a lot behind it though, Bucko, is there?
No, it looks like a bit dusty, but it's cooler air, so it's going all right. 30 seconds, 30 seconds. And these guys are too close up, the Balmain.
Yeah, they got a bit of time to wash off here.
They got a difficult job here.
And he ain't dipping because Marine Outlet has parked himself underneath him. So
I think we might be seeing a little recall here. Oh, no, he's done a good job.
There won't be any recalls, Bucko.
Hello. Marine Outlet gone for all money. Yeah, I think, yes, sirree.
They did say they weren't going to do any recalls, but that was just a bit...
That was taking it well and truly.
That was, yeah, we won't say what that was taking, but it was definitely taking it. Yeah. The only boat behind the line I would suggest was Fisher Paykel.
So, Dol, if you're on the race committee, you'd be disqualifying everybody except Fisher. Well, individual recalls for everybody but F&P, right?
Yeah, I should have just put the black flag up, mate.
Black flag.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have kept him back. right from the outset.
Well, they've done a good job so far, mate. We've got 2 races in less than an hour. I think it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, they're not very long races, and they're not messing around either, are they?
No, just bang them off.
Bang! As soon as they're finished, we're back into it.
Well, I wonder if they learned anything out of that little episode. Joel, what do you think?
Don't be early.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think they'll learn, and we'll see. We'll see what flags go up here, but I think they'd be reluctant to put up an eye or a black, wouldn't they? They just let them have another go.
I think they should go straight to black. On the contrary.
Yeah, so I think they should, but I don't think they will.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, Jimmy, how many black flags in the 16-footer nationals?
There was a couple that the starter there was quite good. He just went 2 straight starts, and then P starts, and then went the black flag, and everyone behaved. It was it's actually quite good to see, like how efficient it was, and we weren't being delayed too long.
A number of times we had a fair bit of tide pushing over the start line too, which didn't make it any easier. Yeah,
the start, Bucko, run out tide, right across the mouth of Middle Harbour, the narrowest part of the whole Middle Harbour for the water to get out. So
no, it runs pretty strongly too.
Okay, here we go, back in sequence again, and boats are meandering back. Which fortunately they didn't go too far because we know the starter's not messing around. So
all right, so let's make a bet. Do you think the Finport can get around clean this time, Dom?
Oh, mate, I don't want to say. I don't want to do it to him 3 times. But we left him alone last time and he brought it on himself.
We've immunised him.
Bless you. But once again, it's going to hinge on how people get off this start this time. Once again, position on the line, timing on the line.
Yeah, they've done a pretty good job, though. I think for given that they're all new lineups in essence.
That would have been a pretty good start if they'd all waited another 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's slowly deteriorating, aren't they? Really, 4 minutes. The behaviour, like naughty kids at the end of the school term.
Yeah. Just getting a bit eager for the last one.
Yeah.
Just noticing to the left of the camera, Cat, there's obviously another course, Bucko, that you don't know, where they go around Clark Island and head up the harbour.
Well, I think that's the Rancer.
Might be another fleet, yeah. And a quality fleet it is too.
Some Dacron sails, the likes of which I haven't seen for half a century.
Some interesting Hetzel Leach profiles there, Bucko.
How about the aft camber on the 837 up there? Oh, doll. And the forward mast rake and
all that.
Concentrate. Dolly, we're 80-footer racing.
4 minutes. We're inside 4 minutes.
Perfect line up here, Jimmy, on the start line. We better call them, hadn't we? We better get on loudspeaker and talk to the committee here.
I think Dougie's doing the right thing on board. I think he's reading a book.
Just put his head down. I didn't see anything. Clear start.
Hang on a minute. Clear start.
3 minutes now. And everyone is well back from the line there, you can see. And you can see the amount of traffic that they're going to have to deal with this time.
And there's a continuing supply of these, we'll be polite and call them intermediate-sized keelboats.
Yes.
Nothing newer than 1960, I can see thus far.
Soon to be mooring minders.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone's well bunched, but holding back, which is we're looking pretty good for a start.
Just coming towards 2 minutes. There we go. The clock is well synchronised. It's Chittenden Special Friday time. Not bad. Nearly the cocktail hour, I believe.
I thought it'd be ticking over twice as quick if it was a Chittenden special timer, because it's cutting into our beer time.
This is correct.
Well, I'm sure a few of these sailors will be itching to get back to shore. They've probably have a cup of tea because they're probably getting a bit tired by now. Some of these old blokes. Coming up to 1 minute.
It's the old slow bicycle race, and everybody looks okay now.
Yeah, we're a bit more conservative this time. Oh dear.
So there's about to be some interesting windward boat calls here.
1 minute.
Half a dozen little, quite slow keel boats crossing over in front of the line. Anyway, our boys racking up. Lazarus down the leeward end. Up the top, Shore and Partners of the favourites. Finport up here as well.
Andrew's had to do a little quick couple of tacks there, which hasn't put him in great stead, but he'll hold a lane there, I think.
40 seconds, and I'd say that the intersection between these fleets will be material here. Dole?
Yeah. Yeah.
I like where Finport is, if they can
pull the trigger and get going.
start legally. No, they're too close at the moment still. Got to slow it down, boys.
Marine Outlet at the windward end of the line too, with the big rig as well.
Tommy Burton got enough room to put the bow down on the Finport.
He has. He's got legs.
4, 3, 2, 1. Clean.
Clean start.
We actually got a clean start.
Yeah, very good start
So
from
now
the
they've got to deal
Finport.
with the dirty air of the keelboat fleet. That'll be interesting, won't it? So
Yeah.
viewers, you've seen the scene that confronts them. Fantastic stuff. Friday night in Sydney Harbour.
And you can see there Rag and Famish to leeward, end of the line, looking very good. Finport to windward of them. We've had a couple of early tackers out of there. We've got Lazarus, Andu, Marine Outlet, Birkenhead and Noakes. They've bailed out early. Maybe they're looking to get above these yachts, Bucko, early.
Yeah, well, the Finport didn't seem to be concerned. These other guys certainly threading the needle and combing the torpedoes, as it were. But Andu, Birkenhead and Marine Outlet all on port, done the job successfully. Marine Outlet having to duck one, but Andu through very cleanly with good pressure coming from the right now.
And a bit of height too.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of a header knocking there now. And I'd imagine he'll probably tack shortly.
We can't go up too close to the
No, he'll run out of
ferry.
pressure. That's right. Tacking now. There he goes.
So away in the distance now behind Andu, you can see in the far distance Finport and Rag and Famish. Finport clearly leading.
Don't mention it, Bucko.
Don't mention it. All right, I'm sorry.
I don't want TV coming after us after this when we get ashore.
I won't mention the war then.
Yeah. But no, they're looking nice down the bottom end there, and I would suggest that when they flop over on port tack, they'll have more pressure than the
guys at this end.
the guys on the right-hand side of the track.
On the right edge.
Yeah.
Tough looking zone of low range stuff. But
Andu,
Joel and the Andu have come out all right.
he's looking very good.
Finport having a bit of a fight down there, I can see in the distance with the keelboat fleet. Not recommended. But he's up through the dirty air of them all now, so rocking again.
Yeah, so they're just to the right of your shot now, just coming in the shot.
Yeah.
At the moment you can see Balmain and Andu there, so you can see Andu on shot there now, young Joel, and he's stepped out nicely, Bucko, and look how flat that boat's sailing. Fantastic.
Yeah, good low range. Having slightly lighter crew, good for it. But still, Finport leads pretty easily, I think.
We're going to find out shortly. Yep, Andu has knocked now, so you would guess that Finport will lift.
It turned in a long progressive header again.
Yeah.
Finport in high left with plenty of wind.
Can they get a spinnaker up?
Well, the boys
Remains to
will
be
be
seen.
sweating if they lead at the mark and they can't get the shoot on. They know that the eyes of the world are upon them.
Yeah.
And we won't talk about them at all, will we, Jimmy?
We don't. That's the thing.
No.
In fact, it's only recently he started sailing with a spinnaker.
Tommy.
Yeah.
So we're going to blame him, you see.
And with mates.
Yeah.
He doesn't like sailing with mates. Bit of a lone single-handed sailor. But certainly getting the job done this time. quite a shift in the breeze there, Bucko.
Well, and
Looking up course though, we can see a McConaughey 38, so the breeze is going to flick back.
yeah, but I think he's not unhappy about that. It's a header with pressure. That's fine.
Yeah.
He's just looking to stay in the line of wind all the way to the mark, which he's on track to do. He's got about a 30-second lead, I would say, Dom.
Yeah, lovely shot looking into the boat there now, and you can see the three boys with the big rig swinging it. They're fully stretched on wire. Boat's getting through the water nicely. Lovely shot.
He'd be enjoying that after the other little episodes.
Yep. And
Good
still
stuff.
have a very nice angle coming across here on Port Tack.
Yeah, and he's all the way to the low line. He's got pressure. The only thing in the way is us. It's a normal day out, really, Jimmy, isn't it?
Well, we've got to get in the way of everyone once in a while.
Equal opportunity rule applies.
Well, it's the boundaries of land.
Everyone gets a turn.
Wave to Nicole, the owner of the Mighty Defiance. Not on deck. Nice.
So you'll see Finport in a few seconds. They'll be flipping back over onto a starboard ley line and with a handy little lead.
You know, it's an easy way to win your yacht race. Is that what you did as a coach? Just tell them start well and just keep lengthening out?
Start well and keep yourself between the next mark and your opposition, always.
There you go.
Yeah, easy as that, Bucko.
It's simple.
Yeah.
It's simple sport for simple blokes, isn't it?
It's a one-page program with Dolly, unlike when we asked you for anything.
I always keep them informed of the weather on Lord Howe Island, Bucko.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, you know, we're just lacking a couple of sea marks, aren't we, to get some offshore weather.
Indeed. Yeah. So here they come on approach to the top mark. Tom Burton.
And just in, Tom Burton just won Sale Melbourne, steering a 49er with Max Paul as crew. There you go. There you go. Just add that to his repertoire.
I should know that because I've just been with Max Paul's parents in Queensland. And here we go. What set are we doing here, Bucko? Straight set.
Yeah, bear right. Straight set. Shoots on the right side. Shouldn't go wrong, should it, Jimmy?
Should.
It's something going wrong.
Something's going wrong, Bucko.
Oh,
Tell you what it might be, because they normally back the jib if it's a leeward set.
Yeah.
And where the TB's across it, like Tom's across it, he needs to do that.
It's slowly going up, but it's not.
Oh, it's horrible.
Dear, oh dear. So next round we've got Rag and Famish, closely followed by Smeg, then the Andu and Balmain.
Pretty dangerous up here on the starboard ley line. Port ley line, sorry. The boat's downwind, putting dirty air over the other guys.
Bit of a ferry coming into play here as well.
Finport just getting
Royal
a bit
Oak
more prawns.
around. Birkenhead Marina next round. Lazarus about to get hooked up on the top mark, but they've just survived that.
Yeah, that's not really recommended, but the Dod's pretty used to bouncing off them, isn't he, Jimmy? Very nice and stop for us.
The Pelmore Way ferry has come to full stop right in the middle of the course to let the 18s go past, which is very nice of them. There they are on screen.
Does that class of ferry have a diamond, Jimmy, or not?
No, it doesn't,
It
mate.
doesn't.
But,
So he needs to stop.
Oh, there was holes there for him to push, but
Yeah, he didn't take it.
I think as Jammer said, as long as, what was it, the 20 past 8 ferry out of Double Bay, that one you can't be late because that's when they have their meal break. So.
Yeah. I believe Captain Cub Phil Barnett's out on a ferry tonight working away, which is why he's not joining us here.
He was on the Clontarf earlier today, I believe, on the Manly run.
So currently we have the Rag and Famish with John Harris with a narrow lead over Andu and Joel Beechel. The Balmain with Hugh Stoddart and Warren Crooklyn in the Smeg. So a bit of a four-way dice here, Bucko. How do you see this ending up? Will we see the young bloke come through for a win?
I think the Andu will win this one. Sorry, other men. They got enough straight line speed, and the Balmain slate's not all that not all that incentivised. They'll be happy to cruise around and get third or so.
Yeah, the Rag going to make this gate, or will they have to jibe as well? Andu are going to have to put in another jibe.
Well, Andu might be coming to
They just got a nice header on the Andu.
Yeah, so I don't know that it's enough to get them down to that left-hand gate though, Jimmy.
What do you reckon? Send Joel in, get all that weight off the wing, that'll help?
That will make zero difference. But we had him on screen there just a second ago. He is doing a magnificent job.
So the Rag going to come.
The Rag are going to lay the mark, and they're going to...
No, jibe set on the jibe drop.
No, straight drop. They want that left-hand mark again.
And Bisho's going the other way, so...
So Andu's had to jibe. I'd suggest he might go to that right-hand mark rather than put another jibe in.
His angle's a bit
Went a bit early?
A bit insufficient, yep.
Went a bit early.
And Smeg's going to burgle his way into second, more or less.
Was a bit of a late drop, untidy drop on the Smeg, but now they've come on a breeze there. Looking down on the Andu. Tidy rounding from those boys.
And the Balmain.
And on the left-hand gate, Balmain.
Got to the corner with the chute fully up. Oh, this is not good, boys. I've got a knot in the halyard. Where's the song? Where's that Campbell Reed?
There's a knot in the halyard.
Oh, I've got a knot.
Yeah, not happy. And that's about the only mistake those boys have made today.
Yeah, he's working on it. It's never easy. And it's in the water on the leeward side just enough.
Just a touch. What do you think they need in this race, Bucko?
Oh, fourth.
They can't do worse than what?
Fourth would be enough.
Well, that's slipping away.
No, even fifth would be enough. Fifth, sixth.
That's slipping away too.
Seventh.
Not on screen for the viewers. Your tip for the day is heading home, the Finport.
Aha.
Well, they've figured out that they rigged the spinnaker halyard wrongly. One would suspect.
I don't think they got it up cleanly once, did they?
No, that's correct.
Yeah.
And that tells you that
Something's amiss.
something is amiss. Because they're better sailors than that.
Certainly are. Kitchen Maker with a similar problem with the halyard has now come down though.
It'd be nice and quiet on board there, wouldn't it, Dom?
Which one, mate?
On the Kitchen Maker.
Yeah. If Whitty was here, he would have tied knots in that halyard for Speezy. They used to have a nice little tit for tat playing tricks on each other.
I guess that's sort of a slip half inch.
Yeah, or worse. Even a knot in the spinnaker itself.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But,
Swapping spinnaker bags.
Yes, lots of that. Lots of that. But yeah, we're looking at Fisher Paykel at the moment. They're currently probably in...
Eighth or something.
Yeah, somewhere between 5 and 8. Rag and Famish a standout in front at the moment.
You know, he's gone.
He's gone, John Harris. He won't be caught barring a mistake.
So Rag's going to end up with 1 to 11 if they finish as they are.
Right. Yeah, that 11 was not good. Make sure you get all these results, Bucko, so we can crunch the numbers at the end of this race.
Crunching, beginning already.
I forgot to tell him to bring his abacus.
And big gain from Jack McCartney in this race on the Birkenhead Point Marina. He's looking to press Smeg, but he's just thrown a tack in there to get himself out of a bit of trouble and found himself in no pressure, which has allowed the Royal Oak to cross in front of him.
But he's standing into better pressure now on the right edge.
He is.
Quite a bit of wind here. Balmain is restating their case here to some degree. Joel?
Yeah, you just saw them cross just behind Birkenhead there with Shaw and Partners.
And there they go, a little square rigger in the background. The Solway Lass, I think.
Which I think might have been why Jack got out of there. He could see a bit of potential problem happening there. Down to leeward you can see Marine Outlet below Shaw and Partners.
And Andrew coming into the picture on port, just behind Balmain.
Yeah, so crossed Shaw and Partners, but couldn't cross Balmain or Royal Oak. I was expecting Andrew to make a bit more of a gain on that first part of the beat, but it was not to be. So you're currently looking down there now on the Rag and Famish. He's on final port approach to a starboard ley line to the top mark. So John Harris making it look like he only left yesterday.
Yeah, he did one stand-in job. Smeek travelling with us now on screen, fighting for third there. Harris did a stand-in steer last year at some point.
Yeah, not for too long though, was it?
No,
bit of a fill-in.
One race.
One race. So here they are. They're on approach now to the top mark.
But the wiring looks like it's in pretty good order. So
yeah, watch this bear away. We've got them on screen here now.
cruising, just cruising.
Yeah, well, they don't want to do anything silly now. They just want to get this down to the bottom of the course and take a win. Nice, easy set. Get that sheet on, please.
Yeah,
Someone,
please.
anyone, Bueller.
Now, today,
Yeah,
soon.
and they're off.
Here's Smeg.
But he's in a good bit of pressure. Little puff just round the corner here at Point Piper.
Yeah, you want to jive on the back of that, right?
And Smeg ripping in here. It's a port tack header, so they could do a jibe set if they were so disposed. Hard to go back through the fleet though. Windward hoist. The Wasabi going, yeah, no, yeah, okay. Let's have an early jibe.
Windward hoist and Woz didn't even bend his legs for them there to get a bit more depth. He just
And
kept swinging it down.
the Balmain up to third. How about that?
How about that?
So they are on fire, aren't they?
Well, we thought at the bottom they might have been gone for all money, didn't we?
You did.
I did, yeah. We're talking about 7ths and 8ths, and there they are. They are in third position, which if they can hold that will be enough
Easily.
for Hubar to take the points.
No faith, you blokes.
John's behind them.
So you can just see Birkenhead and Andu have just gone round the mark there now.
And looking behind, a complete fence across between the island and the Nielsen Park shore of Twilight keelboaters.
Yeah.
All good.
We'll be done and heading for the beach by the time they get here, Bucko.
Absolutely. When you only go 5 knots, it's a long way back down to Royal Sydney.
It is. So we're just looking down from the drone there and now looking across to Smeg. So they're in second position. And a comfortable second it is too. For Wazza.
Just looking at Rag that aren't on screen. They look like they're well under the pin mark here.
Yeah, they're going to have to drop that and get up to the finish. But fortunate for them, Smeg isn't that much advanced to windward, so likely they'll end up with the same problem.
I think Smeg's got the same problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all lined up. I think he might get there actually, Doc.
Yeah, bit of a rag on the rag.
No, just gonna
Just
low hooks,
low hooks and swing it down.
roll them off.
Yeah, they're going to get there.
Nicely judged.
Excellent sailing from John Harris in that race and the team.
So the rag gets the chocolates in race 2. Pretty well done, boys. Dragon Famish, John Harris, Harry Price and Josh McKnight.
Good team.
Good team. Second will be Smeg, barring accidents.
Warwick Brooklyn, Ricky Bridge and Tommy Anderson. Ricky Bridge has got a pretty full dance card this week. 18s tonight, 16s tomorrow, 18s on Sunday.
Off to the Belmont Sprints for Ricky.
Yep. Next up, we're looking at Andu. You can see there's Balmain now. Balmain in third place, and without even Bucko doing his calculations, I would say have won this
5 points.
5 points, that'll do it.
Points.
He didn't have to take a shoe off, so we're safe.
And Andu having a shot here.
Great little comeback from Joel Beashel there.
Well, Oak. Andu.
Shaw and Partners.
Oh,
Birkenhead Point will pip him.
Sure, partners
They're across.
you can just see Shaw and Partners there. They are there. They have the kite in the water. I think the tack line might have let go.
Yep.
Got that look about it.
And on came the handbrake.
But they had finished.
Have they?
Yeah,
they have.
Yeah.
Marine Outlet, Michael Carter. Better
There's the
result for
swing.
him.
Well, that's the easy way to get the shoot down, Jimmy, isn't it?
Yeah, just
Well, they're just
casually.
drying it out a little bit, as you can see on that shot.
Put in the prawns into the net. All good.
They should do a prawn night after this each year, shouldn't they?
They should have enough of them. Plenty collected today.
There's been some good work done today in the prawning department, that's for sure.
A very happy Hugh Stoddart has just sailed past us off shot there.
Gee, he still looks in pretty good nick, doesn't he?
Mate, he runs, he rides, he mountain climbs, he does all kinds of physical exercises that we can't.
Oh, speak for yourself, doll.
Next in we've got Lazarus just scraping past the finish boat.
There we go. Keegan going to have a go at dropping the chute. This is going to be something good.
We're taking turns, are we? Go Keegs.
Nah, bad luck.
Harry having a bit of a laugh at him there on screen. Lovely job, Keegan.
That's not how to do it.
Well, everybody has fun.
Noakes Blue behind them, and then Gary on the Fisher Paykel.
That should really leave us, I think, the Burrowang Hotel and the Kitchen Maker left out on track. Here we are with the Burrowang Hotel. For the viewers, stay tuned. Make sure you tune in actually for Sunday. The sponsor of the day is the Burrowang Hotel, and they got a deal almost, I reckon, better than the Birkenhead Point
deal.
Yep. So stay tuned for that.
You're not going to tell us what it is.
I'm not telling you until Sunday.
Okay. It's a lovely looking boat with those colours, the Burrowing.
Sensation. The Burrowing Andrew Cuddy, not a bad fifth of it on average. Best result of fifth today.
Uh-huh.
That's not bad for the old fella.
Yep. He'll be pretty happy, I think.
Stayed upright.
He is very competitive though. So
I understand completely.
yeah. So he may not be happy with that actually, but I don't know what I did speak to him beforehand, but I didn't ask him what his expectations
No,
were.
he would have said, my expectations is, let's keep the mast upright, I think.
And not spend all week at the chiropractor.
Or something like that,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Last one to finish, we've got the Kitchen Maker, Michael Spees.
So, folks, a pretty clean victory for the Balmain. 1-1-3, that'll usually do it in a three-race all-account regatta for 5 points. And I think Smeg might actually get the next placing with 2-3-7.
Right.
So that's 12 points. And there was no third, Your Majesty. Just back to front for the last race. Kitchen Maker bringing up the rear. Burrowing, Noakes, Fisher and Pikekill, Lazarus, Marine Outlet, Birkenhead Point, Shaw, Andu, Mr. B. Shaw in 5th, Royal Oak 4th, Balmain Slate 3rd, Smeg in 2nd, good sailing from them, and a pretty impressive victory to the Ragged Family, John Harris Jr. A mighty fine and accurate effort as usual from him.
A good way to finish off a day with a win.
So, folks, sponsor Balmain, thank you. You got God on your side. That's pretty clear. We're coming to borrow some money. I need some. One of those things. Thanks, Dole, Jimmy, Chits,
Piers,
Sam,
Dylan and Sam. There you go.
Dylan, Sam.
Before you snap your neck off.
Yeah, I forgot who was here. And we forgot to remind everybody, if you're on YouTube, click the settings and click the HD button.
Bit late for that now, mate.
All right. Please feel free to follow Sail Media on social media platforms. Stay up to date with what else we're up to. This has been a Sail Media production for the Australian 18 Footers League. I'm Andrew Buckland, having the pleasure of signing out on a sunny Sydney Harbour on Friday evening. Thanks for watching.